It is a part of speech and the related concepts that we will discuss. But today we must go back to school. We must go back to the basics of what is a part of speech and understand it thoroughly so that our understanding of all the further concepts is based on a very solid foundation. So what are the parts of speech? You have a noun, you have a pronoun, you have an adjective, a verb, an adverb, a preposition, a conjunction and an interjection. I am sure you recall these 8 parts of speech. The article is not regarded as a part of speech. Before we define these parts of speech, I am going to have a sentence put up on the screen for you, which is, "Whoa, the brown fox jumped over the lazy dog, which was dozing slothfully in the farmer's barn." Whoa is followed by an exclamation mark. You find all the parts of speech in this sentence. What are the parts of speech that we mentioned? A noun, a pronoun, an adjective, a verb, an adverb, a preposition, conjunction and an interjection. So, what is a noun? A noun is a word that is used to identify or refer to a person, place, animal, thing, activity. So, nouns are basically the naming process. You have a name for everything around you, for what you think and things that are concrete around you. So, the name of a person, the name of a street, the name of a thing, an object, the name of a state of mind, the name of an animal, the name of an activity, words given to denote all these things are your nouns. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a substitute for a noun. We probably assume that pronouns can only be the words he, she, it, they, we, etc. But you'll soon discover that there are several kinds of pronouns. What is an adjective? This is a word that qualifies the noun. Say something about the noun. Sam is a boy. You have Sam, which is a noun, proper noun, boy, which is a noun. The book is on the table. Book is a noun, table is a noun. Music is an interesting thing. Music is a thing. Both of these are nouns. But music is an interesting thing. What is it? It's interesting. The interesting book is on the table. What kind of book? Interesting book is on the table. Sam is an intelligent boy. What kind of boy? He's an intelligent boy. 5 books are on the table. How many books? 5 books. You must read several books before you can consider yourself ready for the GDPI. How many books? Several books. You'll find that all of these are adjectives. Why are they adjectives? Because they say something about the nouns with which they are associated. What is a verb? A verb is a word that denotes some action or captures a state of being, expresses a state of being. For example, Sam writes an essay. Sam talks to his friend. Sam dances to the music. Sam walks along the road. Walks, dances, writes, speaks. All of these are verbs that denote some action. On the other hand, I can even have verbs that simply capture a state of being. I am happy. This is a verb. Am is a verb here that captures a state of being. That question seems easy, appears easy, seems easy, captures simply a state of being. Verbs can be main verbs or action words or words that are auxiliaries or helping verbs. For example, a main verb like eat or eats, the base form of the verb, can take the form eating, the present participle form of the verb. It can even take the form ate, which is the simple past tense form of the verb, or eaten, which is the past participle form of the verb. On the other hand, you have a set of auxiliaries or helping verbs. And what are these auxiliaries or helping verbs? The be form verbs is, am, are, was, were, or the have verbs have, has, had, or the do verbs do, does, did. All of these are called helping verbs. They help the main verb, and sometimes in the absence of the main verb they actually become the main verb of the sentence. For example, Sam is reading a book, is reading, but Sam reads a book. You have reads, which is the verb here, is reading, is supports the verb reading. I could simply say Sam is happy. What is the state of being of Sam? Sam's state of being is that of happiness. Sam is happy. You can also have modals that are used to help the main verb in a sentence. What are these modals? These are words that denote the time or the mood of the verb. For example, can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, need, must, dare, ought to, used to. All of these end up supporting the main verb. Sam can sing a song. Sam must write this essay. Sam ought to do his homework. All of them bring a certain condition or a tone or a mood to the given sentence, as well as they support the main verb of the sentence. Let's look at what is an adverb. A word that says something about the verb in a given sentence, or says something about another adverb, or say something about an adjective in a given sentence. Let's look at some examples. Sam runs fast. How does Sam run? Fast. So, how an action is conducted or the manner of the action is captured by the word fast. The action is described by the word fast. Sam runs very fast. How does Sam run? Very fast. Now, very indicates the intensity or degree of fast. How fast does he run? Very fast. Fast is an adverb, very is an adverb. The mango is a very sweet fruit. The mango is a fruit. What kind of fruit? A very sweet fruit. Very is an adverb that qualifies the adjective sweet, because remember, sweet does not reflect on the action. Sweet says something about the mango. Therefore, very sweet, very is an adverb that speaks of the degree or extent of sweetness of the mango. These are all adverbs. So, what is a preposition? A preposition is a word that connects a noun with another noun, a noun with a pronoun, and a pronoun with a pronoun. For example, the book is on the table. The noun book is connected with table by the word on. Where is the book? What is the position of the book? The position of the book in relation to the table is that it is on the table. She walked along the road. Sam walked across the road. Sam walked to the building or towards the building. You will find that all prepositions indicate the relation between two nouns or two pronouns. And what are these relations that are indicated? The relation of position, the relation of direction, the relation of movement, the relation of time, the relation of place, or the relation of possession. Prepositions capture these various relations. Prepositions can be a very vast area because of the various things connected with the use of prepositions. What is a conjunction? Going with a junction. A conjunction is a word that connects two nouns or two words, two phrases, two clauses. For example, Sam and Sham are good friends. Or the book is on the table and the pen is in the box. The book is on the table, the pen is in the box. And you have two parts of a sentence, two clauses connected by the word and. She worked hard but failed to get a good score. She worked hard but she failed to get a good score. These are conjunctions. Words like but, yet, and, because, since, while, whereas, wherever. We'll examine more conjunctions at a later stage. What is an interjection? An interjection is a word that captures strong emotion. For example, hey, how have you been? Or, alas, we've lost the match. Hooray, we've won the match. Or, oh, that's disappointing. Ah, that's refreshing. You will find that interjections are typically followed by an exclamatory mark because they capture strong emotion. Now look at the sentence that you have on the screen. Whoa, followed by an exclamatory mark, a word that captures strong emotion. Whoa, the. The is an article. We've not discussed it under parts of speech, but we will soon be discussing it. Articles are a and the, and these are words that are connected with nouns. The brown fox. Fox, the name of an animal, and therefore a noun. What fox? Brown colored fox. You are describing the fox here. The fox is brown in color, so brown is an adjective. The brown fox jumped. Jumped is an action word, denotes the action. Jumped over. Over indicates the position or relation between the fox and something else. Jumped over, and therefore a preposition, over the lazy dog. What is dog? A noun again, the name of an animal. Lazy, what kind of dog? Lazy dog. That's an adjective. Jumped over the article, the lazy dog, the brown fox, jumped over the lazy dog, which was dozing slothfully, which relates to the dog. We'll go on to study that which is a pronoun. It's a relative pronoun that relates to the noun before it. What does which refer to? The dog. What was the dog doing? Was an auxiliary verb, a verb of a state of being, which was dozing. It was sleeping. How was it sleeping? Slothfully. Sloth is a word that means laziness. In a lazy manner, full of sloth, it was sleeping lazily in the farmer's barn. Where was it found? In. Preposition. Where? The farmer's barn. The farmer, noun. Farmer's, possessive form. Whose barn was this? The farmer's barn. And therefore, farmer is a noun, but in a different form. Barn is a noun. Look at the various words that you've looked at. We've examined every single part of speech here except one. And what is that? We've not had an example of a conjunction here. What is a conjunction? A word that connects to words or to clauses or to phrases. Maybe if I extend this sentence to in the farmer's barn and the farmer noticed this. Now I am joining another sentence to the previous sentence, and there I have a conjunction. We mentioned a couple of terms while discussing some of these examples, particularly conjunction. What were the terms we used? Phrase, clause. What do you mean by a phrase? A phrase is a set of words that means something, that conveys meaning. So the cat jumped over the roof. Where did it jump? Over the roof. Over the roof is a phrase that means something specifically. Singing happily, Sam crossed the road. What was Sam doing? Singing happily. Now here is a phrase that says something about Sam. Singing happily, Sam crossed the road. Phrases are typically sets of words that convey specific meaning. What is a clause on the other hand? A clause is a set of words which happens to be the smallest unit of a sentence. A clause has a subject and a verb. The subject here can be a noun or a pronoun, and the verb is either a word of action or an auxiliary, which means I cannot have a sentence without a clause. A clause is the basic unit of a sentence, and one clause is mandatorily needed for me to make a sentence. Multiple clauses can make for a sentence. I can have several clauses in one sentence. So, we just mentioned the word subject, and what can therefore be the subject of a sentence? The doer of an action. Sam read the book. What did Sam do? Sam read the book. Sam is the doer of the action. What is the action? Reading. Reading what? What is the receiver of the action? The object of the verb. The book. Sam read what? Sam read the book. So, doer of the action is the subject. You have the verb which captures the action, and you have the receiver of the action which is the object. Sam read the book. Subject, verb and the object. The verb and the object part, or the verb and an adjective, can also be termed as the predicate. So, you can have in a sentence a subject and the predicate. So, for example, Sam read the book. Sam is the subject. Read the book can be termed as the predicate part, the verb and the object. Or simply Sam is happy can be termed as the predicate part of the subject or the entire sentence. So, this is how sentences are structured. We've simply examined the very basic details of the various parts of speech. We will have to take this ahead in our next session with nouns and understanding of the various things connected with nouns, and what are they? Articles as well as pronouns. So, we've had a nice discussion about how to approach grammar, how to feel comfortable about the fact that grammar is not really a very difficult thing, but grammar is very structured. It is simply a mastery of the rules of certain areas or certain topics or concepts that I learned to apply in questions. It is fairly structured, focused. All I need is a sound understanding of these concepts, a retention of these rules, and application of these rules in several questions. So, grammar is a very easy thing. Grammar definitely is a highly doable question in exams like the CAT. Thank you for having watched this. So, we are going to have happy times with grammar. Thank you so much.